Defend yourself against DDoS attacks by hiding your true IP address with ExpressVPN, and visit my custom link expressvpn.com/ghilliemaster in the description to find out how you can get an extra 3 months free.
Officer, it has come to my attention that footage which compromises the integrity of the LSPD may exist. It is of course in our interest to retrieve this footage, because it is our interest to place it in the public eye. Please respond. Copy that. You should have coordinates coming through. This was the last known location.
Yo, what? No! No!
Okay, this one is, I hope, uncomplicated.
Hey everyone, and welcome to another GTA Online Bottom Dollar Bounties DLC video here on the channel. And today, as you saw by the intro, we are going to be talking about the new Vincent dispatch missions and how I think they completely missed the mark with them. So let's begin by discussing how you even get access to these missions. In order to start them, you need to own one of the new cop cars, either from this DLC or the previous one, which will cost you anywhere from like $3 to $5 million if you don't have the trade prices unlocked. And even with the trade prices, they're still really expensive cars. And the missions themselves pay $25,000 each, with a 5-minute cooldown in between them. So let's say you spent $3 million on a cop car in order to do these Vincent dispatch missions. That would mean you would have to do 120 of these missions to earn that money back to break even. And even that's on the low end, because you're probably going to end up spending upwards of $4 million on one of these cars if you want to upgrade them too. So as a money method, these missions are horrible, flat out. You could just become a VIP, start up a headhunter with your squad, mind you, because the dispatch missions require you to be out of a CEO or MC to do them, so you can't really bring your friends along with you. And guess what? Headhunter pays basically the same amount of money with zero upfront costs. All you have to do is be a VIP, which requires you, what, having $100,000 in your bank account? And it's the same exact cooldown as the dispatch missions. The new dispatch work really is no different from your standard security contract. There's one where you have to take out gang leaders, which is basically the gang termination mission from the security contracts, except the security contract variant pays at minimum more than the Vincent dispatch missions will ever pay. But then if you add in getting a specialist or specialist plus variant of that mission, it's going to be paying way more than the dispatch mission ever will. The coolest one by far is where you have to go and disarm the bombs and you do that little Helldivers 2 minigame with the D-pad. That one is cool, I will say. But in the end, they're just not worth doing for the upfront cost you have to pay in order to get access to them. But I don't want to only judge the content in this game based on how much it pays. Just to start off though, I did have to bring that up because for a lot of people that is a huge factor in determining what content to play in GTA Online. However, I do have a lot more to say about them than that. Just the outright design logic behind the missions is, in my opinion, very silly. The cop cars serve basically no purpose in the missions because the only thing you actually use the cop car for is to start up the missions. So what'll happen a lot of the time, or almost all the time, is you call in your cop car, your $5 million police car, get in the vehicle, click the right stick to start up the mission, and then just immediately hop out of the car once the game gives you a location in the next goddamn state 7 miles away. And instead, you just get the Sparrow or Oppressor Mark II and fly there.
Request received. Received. You should receive the locations my sources provided. Alright. You're looking at high-ranking gangers.
See, why?
Just so happen.
Dude, why? I don't want to go all the way up there and do a fucking dispatch mission.
They give the LSPD the information.
I so wish
The LSPD gives
these were vigilante missions where they just gave you a bunch of targets close by, one after another to go shoot and take down like the old GTAs. Like, the best way to do these missions is to get in the cop car only to start the mission up and then get into another vehicle. That's not how I want to do dispatch missions. I want to be a fucking cop. I want to use the cop car the entire time. Like, this is just no different than Headhunter. They really missed the mark on these missions. If it's gonna be like that, then what's the point of even requiring the cop car to start them? Just let me buy a police radio then so I can start the missions that way and not even use the cop car. Because at the current moment, the cop cars are just a cheap, easy way to make you spend millions of dollars to play the most lazily created content out there. Which I should also mention, the cop cars can't even be resold. They sell for $0. Some of the most expensive personal vehicles in the game that you can buy, you can't resell to get somewhat of your money back. Not even half the price of the upgrades. No, you just get no money at all. And you might think, oh, maybe there's just a neat reward that you get for doing these missions, like with the taxi work. After 50 taxi missions, you unlock a livery so that you can use your own personal vehicles with the taxi livery to do taxi work. For completing 50 of these new dispatch missions, allow me to list the rewards that you get for doing so. That's right, you get absolutely nothing. No rewards whatsoever for doing them. There's a platinum award for doing 50 of them, which some people have said is bugged and doesn't actually count for the tier 4 challenge of getting 10 platinum awards, which makes them even more pointless then. You're telling me they couldn't have given us at the very least a new livery for our police vehicles for completing 50 of these dispatch missions? Or giving us one of the many police vehicles that have been in the game since launch? The standard police cruiser, the police buffalo, the FIB buffalo, the FIB Granger. All of these vehicles have been in the game since the game came out on the 360, 2 console generations ago. And you couldn't just give us one as a reward for completing an otherwise useless activity? How hard would it have been to implement the reward of the police buffalo and the standard cop outfit for getting the platinum challenge done? Both have been in the game for basically a decade now. Players want the police outfit, it's already in the game, I just don't understand. The one cop style activity we get, and there's 0 cop themed rewards for doing said content. It doesn't make any sense to me. And I'm not even asking them to make new stuff. This is stuff that they just have to make outfit strings in the game files for. The models are already done. I would have much preferred these missions to be just the old school vigilante missions where you start the mission from your own cop car and you get back-to-back infinitely repeating missions of targets you have to take out from your cop car. And maybe after each target, Vincent can chime in with another voice line like, "Great work out there, I got another report coming in, sending you the location." All of these are missions that you would do in the cop car, and more importantly, would be area-based. So the area which you start the mission determines the area where the mission is located. In other words, the game isn't going to give you a mission that's farther than like a mile and a half away because you'll be locked to your cop car. And then that would give us reasons to own the different cop cars, to use the different cars with different handling on the missions instead of just using them as mission start points and then hopping into your typical rocket spamming vehicle like we do for every other mission in the game where we have to go kill targets. How fun. And maybe they could have gotten creative with it too, like having different challenges for each of the missions, like killing the target with a specific pistol or within a specific time limit. And then they could get harder over time, so the more you do the missions, the more they start paying, but the harder they get. So eventually, the more and more you get paid, the harder the mission becomes, so it's harder to string them together to get that extra pay. The main thing, though, is I want to use the $4 million cop car that I paid for in the mission. I want to chase down enemies with the cool cop cars you made, Rockstar, because frankly, they are really cool. But you know what I don't want to do? Drive those same cop cars 6 miles to Paleto Bay to do a mission that pays me $25,000. When you have a mission that is 90% driving to the destination and 10% of actually doing the mission, there's a problem there. Yes, I could choose to use the cop cars on the missions, sure. I don't have to get into a fast vehicle like an oppressor or a sparrow to travel across the map. But that would be intentionally wasting my time. The missions just aren't designed around using the cop cars for them. Even if they made it like a hybrid system where you do 5 miniature kill the target missions in the cop car, like the old school vigilante missions that are strung along, so you do one after another, and then after the 5 missions that you do, or the 5 mini missions, you get the bigger mission at the end to take out the gang executives or leaders or whatever you want to call them before the work ends. Just anything to make them more unique than they are now, which are basically just reskinned missions of what we already have that pay shittier. But yeah, those are my thoughts on the new Vincent dispatch work. I personally think they're super disappointing. Possibly the biggest letdown of the DLC, if I'm being honest. I just really wanted, 1, a cop outfit for doing these, and 2, just the classic vigilante missions for the older GTA games, and I didn't get any of those. Let me know your thoughts down below. Do you also think they're wasted potential, or do you not mind them in their current form? If you enjoyed the video or found it helpful, feel free to leave a like, as well as subscribe to my channel for more GTA Online content. I also want to give a huge shout out to all my channel members for your support. If you'd like to become a member for some exclusive perks, you can either use the join button or the link that's down in the description. And as always, thanks for watching and have a great day.